Hey mages on the internet, Matt here from Total MTG, and today I'm bringing you another, it was so good the first one, I'm going to give you another Pioneer deck tech. This format certainly seems to be picking up a hell of a lot of steam and people really seem to be enjoying it. Lots of fun brews. I've been playing, doing some testing when I've been getting the decks ready for your deck techs, and it's just been a really fun format so far. So today I'm bringing you Mono Green Ramp. Now, we're going to go Mono Green because you could go Simic Ramp. Simic Ramp, very good, but does play the Oko, and Oko is, well, $1 billion card at the moment, but I do like Mono Green. So, as a Mono Green fan, I'm going to give you now a big ramp package where we can go out and maybe get some really big, expensive cards to cast, and hopefully get them out quite a few turns earlier. So the whole deck is based around Leyline of Abundance. We really want this card in our opening hand. If Abundance is your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Whenever you tap for creature for a mana, you add an additional green source. So we're going to have lots of little 1-drops here. If this isn't your opening hand, it's not the be-all and end-all of the days. You know, it's not just a terrible thing. You've got plenty of 1-drops and 2-drops ready to ramp out as well. But if you do, you're going to get a super quick start. So let's have a look at these creatures that are going to tap for that extra mana. 4 Elvish Mystics and 3 Llanowar Elves. Now only 3 Llanowar Elves because from a lot of testing, I wanted a couple more, so to speak, hex-proof mana dorks. Because what I've been finding from playing this deck non-stop is obviously the Elvish Mystics and Llanowar Elves are very easily killed. And occasionally, obviously, it will slow you down. So if you've got a couple more mana dorks in there like Paradise Druid, and I've got Sylvan Carotid in there as well, that gives us a little bit of help where we, hexproof with the Sylvan Carotid and the Druid as hexproof as long as it's untapped. So you're always going to be able to tap that for mana no matter what, potentially. Whereas sometimes, obviously, as a matter of how great Llanowar Elves and Elvish Mystic is, they can be fatal pushed or bolted or, along that sort of line, flame slash straight away. But they're still great creatures and they're going to be in there as our mana dorks. So 4 Elvish Mystics, 3 Llanowar Elves, a couple of Paradise Druids and Sylvan Carotid is what we're going to be having in there to hopefully have a ley line on the field and then just ramp into some huge things. We don't have real so much card draw in green, but what we do have is cards that can help us find other cards. So Oath of Nissa is in there as a 4 of as well. Ends the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature, land, or planeswalker card. We have all of them in the deck, so hopefully we're going to be hitting something off this. And then you may spend mana as if there's any to cast it, but it doesn't really matter to us because we are mono green. So you can play one of these, even your turn 1, if you haven't got your Elvish Mystic or your Llanowar Elves in there. We've still got 11 1-drops, so we potentially is that we're going to be playing something on turn 1. So as a 2-drop as well, which potentially we can play for 0, is Once Upon a Time from Throne. I really like this card. It's nice. You look at the top 5 cards of your library, you may reveal a creature or land card, and then you get to put it in your hand. So we could find potentially one of our mana dorks or one of the big creatures that you'll see in a minute as well. Or just find an extra land, which will be really handy as well. It's not ramp, but it's helping us go through the deck like Oath of Nissa is as well. And in green, that's really good. You do get some really good cantrips like Once Upon a Time. So we've seen how we can make lots of mana with the Mystics, the Elves, the Druids, the Carotids, ramping into stuff, hopefully playing it for more mana with Leyline of Abundance. But what are we looking to aim to do? Well, first of all, we're going to have a look at the creatures, what we have. We've got 3 Walking Ballistas in there. Now, these creatures, some of them are going to be expensive to cast, but it shouldn't, we should be getting these down turns earlier. But Walking Ballista is a great one to sink your mana into. 0/0XX when it ends the battlefield with X/1/1 counters. So even if this does get to the battlefield and your opponent immediately tries to kill it, you can remove the +1/1 counters from the Walking Ballista and it will deal 1 damage to any target. So you can ping planeswalkers, you can ping creatures, and you can ping your opponents. I remember this when it was in Standard recently, it's still played in Modern as well. And Walking Ballista is an absolutely amazing card. And it seriously can just win you a game by casting it. Tapping the Mystic, tapping it all for double mana and getting this in there as a huge creature. And then you just immediately can sometimes just ping your opponent for the win. So we're going to be ramping into good stuff. And like I say, good stuff means Ulamog. Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunter costs 10. When you cast this spell, exile 2 target permanents. We're going to run 2 of these in the main board. Indestructible creature, and when it attacks, defending player exiles the top 20 cards of their library. The card is insane from Battlers and God. It's an absolute house. and then we hopefully be getting this down. Who knows potentially how quick we can get this down. Hopefully it won't be turn 10. We want to be doing this a little bit quicker with the ley line and all our little mana dorks, and Ulamog can simply just take care of a game for you. World Spine Worm is going to be in there as a one-of. I just really like the worm. 15/15 with trample for 8 and triple green, and when it dies you create 3 5/5s as well, so that's really important. Can obviously be killed, but then it gets shuffled back into your library as well from any... I mean, it's just brilliant. It's a brilliant card. We're going to have it in there as a cheeky one of a 15/15 with trample, like Ulamog, can just win a game on itself, and we've got potentially to get it back, and it's always going to leave 3 5/5s, so it's going to replace its power when it dies as well. World Spine Worm, definitely going to be in there as a one-of. We're going to run 6 Planeswalkers, 3 of each as well. Nissa, Who Shakes the World. Great card from Standard. We're going to put this in Pioneer. Whenever you tap a Forest of Mana, you add an additional one, so it's going to help us with that extra land and ramp into a bit more. And we can turn our forests or lands into 3/3 elemental creatures with haste as well. And vigilance, so that's really good. We can maybe sneak a cheeky little attack in at the same time. The emblem is just really good. Lands you control of indestructible, search your life for any number of forests. We got 15 forests in the main board there, so that's going to help us then turn them all into indestructible lands, and then potentially turn them into +3/3s and attack and win the game. Ugin the Spirit Dragon, 3 of these in there as well. +2, 3 damage to any target. Comes in with 7 loyalty, so it goes up to the +9. Brilliant. 2 activations as well. Potentially we can do the -10 where we gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, then put 7 permanent cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Maybe we could put an Ulamog or a World Spine Worm, or maybe Nissa needs to go on the field, or a ley line. Just tap for hideous amounts of mana, or maybe have more Elvish Mystics and Paradise Druids that we haven't yet got on the field. Ugin, game winner, without a doubt. And the last card, other than the lands in the deck, is a one-off Finale of Devastation, because I just thought this might be a good one-off. Search your library and or graveyard, which is very interesting for this, with a creature card covered to cost X or less, put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. If X is 10 or more though, creatures you control get +X and gain haste. We could attack and win with a Mystic or a Llanowar Elf. That would be hilarious. We can maybe bring back a Ceaseless Hunger or the Worm or something like that. Bring it back. Give all our little 1-drops and little mana dorks massive bodies and attack him for the wing. I'm going to have Finale in there as a one-of. I really, it potentially might go up. I just can't find space for any more at the moment. Maybe after more, I might be able to drop something here or there. But this has been working really well, this configuration. Ramp. Get into your Planeswalkers or a big Ballista or Ulamog, and then GG's. So let's get to the land base now. Like I said, we've got 15 forests in there. We got a little bit for the devotion. We got Nyxos Shrine to Nyx as a couple of. Castle Garenbrig from the new set as well as going in there, because that is a ramp card in itself. You can play it to cast creature spells, tap 4, add more mana as well. And because we're playing colourless spells like Ulamog, Walking Ballista and Ugin, I've got 3 Shrine of the Forsaken Gods in there. Just the 3. I'm not going for anything else because we do need the forest, because we are working a bit of a Nissa package as well. And we've got all those 1-drops, we do want forest in our hand. 22 lands in total. It's been fine at the moment. I might, if you're finding that you might need an extra forest, put it in there, maybe make a little bit more space. Maybe, you feel like you don't want the shrines in there, but they've been a little bit handy to me. I've only got 3 in there. I'm not going the full package of it because we're not a full colourless deck, obviously. We are playing mono green. So we're going to get to our toolbox sideboard now. What have we got in there? We've got Veil of Summer, of course. We've got Veil of Summer in there. 4 of, draw a card, opponent has cast a blue or black spell. Can't be counted this turn, permanents gain hexproof, and us, it's just a absolutely smashing card. And it's only going to be in all the green decks in the sideboard, so we got a 4 of that in there. Grafdigger's Cage, help us with a little bit of the graveyard strategies if we need it. Grafdiggers can come in, and Pithing Needle to help us against Planeswalkers and anything that's doing activated abilities that is just awkward and painful to us. Pithing Needle can then obviously come and help us out. 3 Skylasher in there, Flash, can't be countered, which is nice as well, and it has protection from blue. And helps us with a little bit of flying. It's got reach. It's only a 2/2 body, but I like it. The flash aspect, flashing it in there, can't be countered, which means it's always going to get on the battlefield as well. So it's a nice creature, and I'm trying it in there as a 3 of. Return to Nature as a 1 of. The multi-functional card, destroy target artifact or enchantment or exile a graveyard card. And then obviously we're playing lands and we're trying to get stuff in there as well. So Tireless Tracker You know, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, investigate. Whenever whenever you can, you sacrifice a clue, you get a counter on it. I just find this is a really good versatile card. Oath of Nissa, once upon a time, can get lands in the hand. And just playing this as a 3-drop is nice. And then putting a land in there and just maybe pumping it up and help us with a little bit of card draw. Nylea's Disciple is in there as a 1-of as well. Enters the battlefield, you gain life equal to your devotion to green. That can just be a massive swinger for us. And we get a 3/3 body as well. So I prefer playing that to maybe something that can just, do an instant speed, gain life or something like that. I like Nylea's Disciple. It adds to a little bit to the devotion as well. And then we can gain huge amounts of life because we've got quite a few double greens there, and we've got mana dorks, so, potentially Disciple can obviously do a lovely bit of work for us and get us potentially back into a game as well. So this is my mono green ramp Pioneer deck. Abundance on the field. Turn 1, please. Turn 0. Just get it on the field, and then play your mana dorks and fly into those big spells like Nissa, Ugin, Ulamogs, maybe your big worm as well, and stomp over your opponents to victory. It's a really fun deck, and this is what you got to do sometimes when you're playing formats. You got to play fun decks, and this is a fun deck. It can really go off. Sometimes you'll get stuffed and then just kill all your Elvish Mystics and Thoughtseize all your good cards away. But that can happen in any deck, and that's just what happens in Magic. You know what it is. But this, it can go off, you'll have fun with it, and you'll definitely win some games. Let me know what you think of the deck. I really would like any additions you think could go in there. Put it in the comments as always. I've always appreciated and hear your thoughts on all my brews. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and press that little bell so you never miss a video. That's really important to press the bell. Would really appreciate it as well. Anyway, you lot take care, and I'll see you on the next video.